What's good, everybody? How's your weekend been? Start off with some good news. So Bamford's been nominated and won the Fans Player of the Month award, which is pretty cool, for his 6 goals and 2 assists. And before anybody tells me that Bamford got 7 goals, it's obviously the prior month. That game last week doesn't count. But he's on to win it again if he keeps going. So we'll see how he gets on at Arsenal. There's been a bit of transfer talks. Obviously, that is coming up, pretty soon, really. Like next month, it'll start ramping up. I think some of it's nonsense. Talking about DePaul again, Rodrigo DePaul, which I still think would be a good signing. And they've been shit this year. So if he does want to get away, this is going to be a good chance for him as to get him really. It'd be cheaper. Because I don't normally January deals can be pretty hard to come by, can't they? But with where it's sort of going. For them, I think the second bottom, I haven't looked it up, but it's just, I think the second bottom, which would be good for us to try sign him. Still think it'd be good for us. Bit of talk about Dele Alli. They reckon, because the few people have said about that we won't be able to sign Dele Alli because of the wage bracket. But how Tottenham work the books, obviously I don't do their accounts. But from what I'm aware of with Daniel Levy, he does like certain brackets for how much they're performing, and if they're not playing, the wage bracket goes right down and stuff. So potentially you might be able to snap him up. Now I don't think that'll happen, and bookies have got it like 25-1, which is obviously pretty low. But it's not a bad shout, Dele Alli, to be fair. He gets on my tits a bit, but if he played for Leeds, I'd be game for it. But as I say, unlikely. Zlatan's been mentioned, which is obviously mint just to get linked with him. But I think as much as I love Zlatan, that's waffle, isn't it? That's nonsense. And I think it'd be a step backwards, really. As much as he's mint and he's got like 18 goals in 23 games or something. Me and my brother were looking at that while we were watching boxing the other night. We were talking about him. And he looked it up, and these stats are insane over his career. It's like a goal a game everywhere. A goal every 2 games everywhere he's played. Like, I think he had like one relatively bad stint for Barca, and that were like he got 13 goals in 29 games or something, which is still mint. He was mint when he came to Scum. So I still think he could obviously provide 10 goals coming off at bench for Bamford, Lord Bamford. But yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? Ben White, obviously, still looking at. Can't see that happening, although it hasn't gone too well for him at Brighton, really. But that won't happen that won't happen. Might happen next summer, but that won't. It won't. There's also talk of Dean Henderson. He's like 11-1 at bookies, which I think Meslier has been mint, but there's a few critics of him and stuff. A few people saying, but there's always some critics of everybody with Leeds fans, isn't there? But that'd be a good signing, wouldn't it? I would imagine. I can't see that coming off. I can't see us signing anybody in January, really. One thing that I did read is that we're talking about Roberts going away on loan, which I don't think is a good idea at the moment. I actually think Roberts is very, very, very useful. And I think it won't be necessarily a bad idea to bring him back into the side a little bit more since we've had 2 poor results. Because you know what you're getting from Roberts. And he can be a little bit wasteful on ball going forward, but he does sit in the system really well. He does sit back into the system really well. So I'm not so sure about that. But I don't think he'll go away on loan, really. I think he might if Bielsa has no intention of playing him, and if we are going to sign someone in January that's to sort of fill that spot. But yeah, and it depends if that Geldart and stuff starts coming into the side, then maybe he will get edged out. But I think he's still good to come off at bench for now. Dallas played 90 minutes the other day, so that's wicked. He looked fine. Northern Ireland are shit out there. They lost 2-1, but he looked all right, apart from that first goal that they conceded, because he had a bit of... He didn't have a mare, to be fair. He just caught wrong side at player, and it were a bit of a mess, that goal. But I think he's up against it with Northern Ireland, because they've not been great, have they? But yeah, that's pretty much news thus far. Just to reiterate the Bielsa thing, Rads has been saying like he's the perfect fit. He said that at the start of the season, but he has reiterated that, like saying that he's the perfect fit. So anybody with this Bielsa talk is just talking absolute shit. And if it ain't banter, I don't want to hear it.
Love it, clap a hand.
Testify.
That is great banter. I mean, it's not as good as it was, but it's still very good.
Yeah, so that's me signing out. Subscribe, like, drop us a comment. What do you reckon to them transfers? I know a lot of it's waffle, but it's exciting nonetheless, isn't it? Back in the Premier League. Peace. Leeds.
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask.